Welcome to the Rattler, my first permanent coaster in Coasterland. And I chose this name because it was originally going to be Western themed because of the old school wooden coaster look. And it ended up changing a little bit, but still has a little bit of an old school Western vibe, so I stuck with it. So I'm going to first give you guys an overview of the coaster, some of the features and why I chose to do some of the things that I did, and then we'll talk about the scenery and the overall experience. So we're starting out here, obviously, in the what do you call this? The staging area, the station. Coming out here, we've got some drive wheels coming up to a very long but relatively quick vertical chain, well, not vertical chain lift, but pretty steep chain lift. You can see a lot of the wood there as well. So we're coming down into our first drop. It is pretty extreme. Don't know the exact angle on that one, but the drop itself, the straight section is not too long. It starts to bank into the left and then back up. And that's really the thing that you'll see here is these banks over hills and through valleys. So you're the first one. Not a lot of just straight up and downs, mostly banking, inclines and declines. So straightening back up, we have the second drop moving into a very aggressive banked uphill left to a peak. Then we're dropping down again through a little donut. I do like these. I'm going to try and limit myself because I like to put one in almost every coaster I make. But I do like that feature of going through things, tunnels, etc. So we have another aggressively banked incline, peaking, moving over to the right with a little bit of a dip. This is actually pretty fun to watch, and I imagine it could be fun to do as well in real life to ride. Moving back up to another peak, which goes over the donut, which I like a lot, trying to build this into the scenery. Now, I build the coaster before I add any of the terrain, so it worked out like that because I designed it like that after the fact. But I like to do it in a way that feels organic, like this almost was constructed on this territory and not vice versa. So we're coming in through here, another bank to left in a little bit of a valley. I like the sense of putting things right next to the rider. It gives the sense of speed, and then we're going into a tunnel. So this one I have a little bit of lighting elements in there. Definitely could do more in terms of scenery, but this was my first coaster, so we're going to get better as we go. We have some lamps here and some dynamite, maybe some people are blasting through this tunnel. And then through here, we're going to straighten out and have a somewhat aggressive slope upwards. It's very hard to do the camera angles in here because we don't really have a regular free cam. But we're going up here, really nice. It looks steep and it feels steep, but I checked out the G's on there and it's actually pretty mild. So once we peak here, we're going to get pretty slow, coming back down around here, banking to the right and through another kind of valley area. This is cut out of the landscape a bit. Now we don't have as much speed as we had last time, moving up pretty modestly, coming back down for another drop. Not too exciting, but we're going to get into some more of the scenery elements here with coming through. I don't know what, I just knew that I wanted to put something here because this section was a little bit hollow and putting trees in there didn't feel organic. So I tried to build up like maybe a station. I'm not sure. It's got a piano in there, some luggage. We've got some more dynamite. I really am a bit limited by the total types of items that I can place. But an interesting thing here, you can see that we're going from these regular catwalks to just a bare track for a bit. So as we get up here, we have some ports back, but we have bare track, which is pretty nice. It feels a little bit better, more open, but it also didn't feel authentic to me. So not moving very quickly up here. We're kind of coming back to the station into this covered bridgey thing. You can see this guy on the right. He's actually pretty cool to look at when you come in here. It just kind of pops out of the corner of your eye, but we're going to hit some brakes as we come through here. Slows it down, and we're just getting ready to return to the station with a nice bank, and then you can see the monorail kind of twisting in through as well. So this is Rattler. In terms of scenery, I just tried to do what I could to fill it out, try and block out everything else because I'm not sure what else is going here. But even if I do throw some more stuff, I'm going to try and fade these trees into whatever comes next so that we do have kind of a barrier here. If you are on Rattler, you will see that it's hard to see past the trees, so it gives you a feeling of kind of closed in a dense forest. But at the same time, it's not oppressively difficult to imagine that this fits in with the rest of the park. So some more Western themed stuff here. Now everything's a work in progress. Like these bathrooms, they don't fade well. It needs to be part of a bigger room. Some of the benches here could probably be relocated or cleaned up for better personnel management or park management. But that's what I've got so far. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty happy with Rattler. The overall entry experience, if we check this, you can see like the queue scenery is 100%. The prestige is insane, 1,091, 5 stars, just because of the sheer number of items in here. One of the difficulties I did have was trying to get the ground to look normal here, because if I placed any items on the ground there, it would clip through the queue, which looked pretty rough. So having some trouble in there, but I'm learning as I go to kind of make things better and try and make the best park that I can. So thank you guys for checking out this video on the Rattler. It's for final information, the testing, it did a little bit worse than I was hoping. Excitement you can see in the orange, but fear and nausea are both green. So I did a lot better in the future coasters. I know that excitement could definitely be increased by keeping a little bit more high speed, because as it gets towards the end here and we hit some of these hills, it really does slow down and it's a little bit boring for the customer. But I did manage to keep nausea in check pretty low at a 0.97. So I'm glad that I don't have to throw too many lateral G's at them, which does contribute to some nausea, as well as rough negative G's. It's complicated. There's a pretty solid algorithm behind everything to calculate that, but much of that's unbeknownst to me. So thank you guys for watching this update, this showcase on Rattler, one of my first permanent coaster on here. I think it fits in nicely, and I'm looking forward to integrating it to with some of the other coasters around. So stay tuned for future showcases, future updates, and future POV videos from Coasterland. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.